Hi, it's Kia. I invite you to read with me. Tonight, I will be reading from the New York Times, and I'll be reading about the heat wave. It's an article written by Nazaneen Ghaffar. Dangerous and prolonged heat wave is to grip southern states. Even after sunset, there will be little relief, as much of the South is expected to remain above 80 degrees for several nights in a row. And it shows a map. By Nazaneen Ghaffar. Nazaneen Ghaffar is a reporter on the Times weather team. A prolonged and dangerous heat wave is set to grip parts of the southern United States this week, as forecasters warned that temperatures are expected to soar to triple digits, with daily records at risk of being broken. The most intense heat is initially expected across the southern plains and lower Mississippi Valley, before shifting west into parts of the Southwest later in the week. Bob Orvek, a meteorologist at the Weather Prediction Center, said temperatures were expected to reach or exceed 100 degrees across large parts of the region, with several daily record highs possible, particularly in Texas and Oklahoma. The heat will not ease much after sunset, with much of the South expected to remain above 80 degrees for several nights in a row. The Weather Prediction Center issued extreme heat warnings and heat advisories across large areas of Louisiana, Oklahoma, southwest Arkansas, Texas, and southeast New Mexico, as well as for portions of southern California and central and southern Arizona. In Texas, forecasters of the Fort Worth office of the National Weather Service said the hottest days of the summer were likely in the coming days. Temperatures in Dallas reached 109 degrees on Sunday, the service said, and highs up to 112 degrees were possible for north central Texas through Tuesday. In southwestern Oklahoma and parts of western North Texas, highs up to 115 degrees are possible through Monday, including the Wichita Falls area, where a high of 115 degrees has only been recorded 3 times since 1923, according to the Norman office of the National Weather Service. Farther west, the heat is expected to become even more intense later in the week. Extreme heat warnings were in place across parts of the Southwest through Saturday, with temperatures above 110 degrees expected each day in parts of southeastern California and central and southwestern Arizona. Highs of 115 to 118 degrees are possible, including for the Phoenix metropolitan area, starting in the middle of the week. The extreme heat is being driven by a large, high-pressure system, often referred to as a heat dome, that Mr. Orvek said had been centered over the southern plains since earlier in the week. The system has already brought exceptionally hot conditions and several temperatures records to parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. The heat dome is expected to just sit there through at least the end of August and probably into early September, Mr. Orvik said, keeping the threat of extreme heat in place across the southern United States. Thank you for reading with me.